Skin analysis, your sun damage, the deep dermal sun damage is actually above average. But in the most recent report, your sun damage has actually improved. So that's good news, Maura.
Is it, well, I tell you what, actually, I remember getting that done and scaring myself and saying, you know what, I don't know what I'm going to do, and putting factor 50 on my skin since. Now, my mother is watching today. Mom, this is what you did to me. You've ruined my life, and we'll talk about this after the show. Good. No, the reality is it is good news. So we have some products here that we can actually look back and hopefully change a little bit of that sun damage that's caused. This is Fade Out, the first one.
That's right.
Tell us what this does.
These are for lightening, pigmentation and sun damage. So the first one is Fade Out. That has natural skin lightening elements to it. It's very, very mild, and there's bearberry and licorice, which is natural plant-derived lightening agents, and over time would help to fade.
Okay, so if your skin is kind of, when we talk about sun damage as well, you often see, especially someone who's a little bit darker skinned, that kind of pigmentation, brown spots. So something like this would help.
It would help. Again, it's very mild, so over time it would help to fade it. Whereas, let's say, the white lightening, on the other hand, is much more concentrated. That would have much more stronger, potent lightening elements to it, and it actually targets pigmentation in 5 different ways. It actually peels the pigment, lightens it, as well as inhibiting new damage from forming.
Okay, this would be what they call a pharmaceutical grade, which is a stronger element. Yeah.
It means it can penetrate deeper and it's much more concentrated.
Okay, so deeper into the skin. Then beside that, we have a serum.
That's right. Again, that's more of a peeling element. These two products would be used together. This would be used in the morning and this one would be used at night time. And this would peel away all the damaged pigmentation, and that in turn helps to stimulate fresh new skin cells that are undamaged and unpigmented to come to the surface of the skin.
Because when you think of it, really, our skin, you know, it's constantly renewing ourselves. What is it, over the age of about 35, it gets much more difficult to renew your skin?
Well, our skin renews itself every 20 to 28 days, and that slows down as we get older. However, our pigment producing cells decline at the age of 30, so we're not going to tan as evenly. So there's no point. You're better off to fake it.
Lots and lots of factor on the skin. Okay, so we've done these as serums. Now, this is the new cream from Clarins.
This is the
brightening.
Yeah. It's brightening and anti-aging as well, so it helps to target the dry, dehydrated elements that are often synonymous with sun damage too.
Okay, very good. Now, this one here is by L'Oreal, Revitalift, and this has vitamin A in it.
That's right, retinol. Retinol is a proven ingredient, and that helps to reverse wrinkles and fine lines. So it's very good for reversing sun damage. So in this particular product, we have the synthetic form of retinol, and again, a milder dose, so it's much more economical to use. Whilst in the is clinical moisturising complex, we have again the pharmaceutical grade retinol, very potent and therefore giving much faster results.
Yeah, I'm reading on the back of the box here, it says natural vitamins and all that in that, so that kind of helps it even it out. Okay, now this is vitamin C. This is pure vitamin C.
That's right. L-ascorbic acid is the purest form of vitamin C. It's the only form that our skin can recognise and utilise more readily, and it's a proven form for helping to inhibit new sun damage. What it does is it actually neutralises the UV light and the pollution that affects our skin and causes ageing. So this is something everybody should really use from the age of 20 upwards every day. It actually reinforces the power of a sunscreen, and indeed some sunscreens are actually reinforced with antioxidants now like this.
So it makes the sunscreen stronger and work harder.
There's 3 main functions of vitamin C. It's an antioxidant. It also helps to lighten and brighten the skin, and it's also anti-aging, helps stimulate collagen.
So it's warding off all those evil free radicals that go and eat our skin away.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, La Roche-Posay, this is actually, I use this one, it's very good, and this is basically a sun factor, but it's not that heavy on your skin, which I like, and this is also a mineral one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I like about it. It's natural. Mineral sunscreen actually reflects sunlight, so it's not like a chemical that actually heats up the skin and absorbs the energy into the skin. So it acts like a mirror, just reflects all the sunlight off the skin, and therefore it's more gentle, you know.
Okay.
Factor 25 to 30 is loads for anybody really, because you know it has less chemicals. A factor 50 really allows you to stay longer in the sun without reapplying.
Okay, but all of us should have a factor on every day. Now this one is obviously to prevent sun damage. Now we also have foundations, and I know an awful lot of foundations these days have a sun factor in them, and these have what, about 15, I'd say, is it?
Usually most sunscreens have a factor 15. Both of those there seem to have a factor 15.
Okay.
So for those that are in a hurry or a rush, this is quite easy, you know, and handy, you know.
And I know we are in the depths of, well, we're heading into the most horrible, evil weather coming our way again, but there's also the UV rays do penetrate and do age skin, even though there's no sun.
UV light is present in computer screens, fluorescent lighting, so it's there all the time. UVA light is the light that actually ages us, and it's the most deepest penetrating. It's the same strength both winter and summer.
Okay, so that's why it's daylight.
Daylight, absolutely, and that's why you need a sunscreen with both UVA and UVB protection, which is described as a broad spectrum block, and that's what I like about this. It gives you both UVA and UVB protection.
Okay, so I love this. Protect the skin, I suppose, number one. And if you haven't, if you're like me, my skin is wrecked, you can still go back and use something to help you kind of rejuvenate it again.
That's right.
Sharon, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Enlightening. And like a lapse in beauty rituals can result in breakouts, dry patches and dull, tired-looking skin. How to get back on track? Well, that is the question we all want answered. We have 10 cosmetic commandments and beauty expert Sharon Gilmartin is here to go through them and tell us how to rejuvenate ourselves and rejuvenate our skin. Isn't that right, Sharon?
That's true.
And I suppose the big thing right now is a lot of people, you know, coming back after summer holidays and maybe if you didn't wear SPF, your skin could be a bit wrecked looking.
That's right. It can be dehydrated, dull, dry, blemishes, breakouts,
It's so important to put on your SPF every day. How important is that?
Well, certainly if you want to slow the aging process, it's very important, and protect the skin really,
Okay, well let us hear. We have a voice from above today. Let us hear the first beauty commandment.
Thou shalt not forget SPF.
Well, we just dealt with that, so let us hear the second beauty commandment.
Thou shalt not leave thy makeup on.
Okay, thou shalt not leave thy makeup on. I think all of us are probably a little bit guilty of that. Maybe a late night, you come back in. But you said this is a definite no-no, Sharon.
Well, makeup, if you leave it on all night, it can actually clog the pores and cause breakouts and irritations. So it's very important to cleanse the skin with something that's gentle, that's pH balanced. pH balance means that it won't strip the skin of its natural oils.
Okay, so you got alkaline and
acidic.
Acidic, so somewhere in
That's
between.
Right. Actually, our skin is naturally acidic, so you need something that's acidic. So a cleanser that's pH pH of 4.5 to 5.5 won't strip the skin of its natural oils.
And you could use a product like, say, the one we're using today, which is a Vichy 3-in-1, so it cleanses, tones, and eye makeup.
Takes off eye makeup.
Okay, so this is for lazy people.
That's
And
right.
what about baby wipes and that type of thing? If we reach for those, not a good idea.
No, well, most baby wipes do have mineral oil in them, and mineral oil will clog the pores and cause irritations and breakouts. And likewise, soaps. Soaps are alkaline, and they strip the skin of its natural oils, and therefore your skin's more subject to moisture loss. So,
Okay, so take your makeup off. It doesn't matter how late the night was.
Absolutely.
All right, commandment number 3. Let us hear what the next thing we should be doing.
Thou shalt get at least 7.5 hours sleep every night.
Now, all the stars, anytime we read about anything like this, is all about water and sleep. How important is our sleep?
Well, our skin actually re-energizes at nighttime, and it the skin cells then detoxify and remove impurities from the skin. So it's very important, and it's a celebrity beauty secret.
Okay, and the next beauty instruction from above.
Thou shalt not ignore instructions.
Instructions, beauty instructions.
That's very important. Some products are very concentrated, like serums, for example, usually are very concentrated. Products with fruit acids and vitamin C, they don't mix very well. So be very careful to watch the back of the instructions, particularly even anyone who has oily skin.
Because if you have vitamin C in a serum, which you have in this Lancome Genifique, is that?
The Genifique, this actually boosts the genes, so that helps to make your skin younger looking. But serums are usually very concentrated, and they can't be mixed with other serums, so you have to be very careful. Fruit acids particularly are very concentrated, and you wouldn't mix very well with
Okay,
these
so you
concentrated
could
serums.
actually have a peel. Okay, the next commandment, please.
Thou shalt leave thine spots alone.
Yeah, okay.
That's
well, I
very
think as we
important.
get older, we realise that it's not a good idea if you have a breakout to poke at it or anything like that. But younger people especially can have bad skin as a result
Well, you
of
can
this.
develop acne pockmarks, which is the indentations in the skin, if you squeeze infected spots. So what happens is, if you actually burst an infected spot, the infection can actually burst into the dermis of the skin, and therefore our white blood cells rush to encapsulate the infection to try and prevent it from invading our bodies. But in their haste to get to the infected site as quickly as possible, they break through our collagen network, the supportive network, and the collagen network then collapses and forms an indentation.
Which
And
you
a
will have
pitting-
forever.
Well, no, you can get rid of it with lasers.
Yeah,
You know,
but
it's not too
otherwise,
deep,
no.
if it's
Okay.
very deep, if it's incredibly deep, it won't be removed with laser.
Okay.
But the superficial ones are easy to remove.
Okay, the next commandment, please.
Thou shalt not exfoliate too aggressively.
We're always being told that we need to exfoliate, but not too aggressively.
Well, for example, this granular scrub, there's little grains in it. This usually can only be used twice a week. You know, if you use it too much, the granules will overstimulate and stimulate more oil production.
Okay, so we're using the dermalogical scrub there. It's a granule scrub.
Granular one, and this is superficial. It'll just remove the dead skin cells on the surface of the skin, whereas you have alternative scrubs, if you prefer, that would be gentle enough for daily use. This one here has fruit acids, and this is the Murad fruit acid one. This contains some glycolic acid, lactic acid, and salicylic acid, and that works deep down. Fantastic for anyone that has blackheads or breakouts. Very good for the anti-age client too that wants
Okay,
to
so if your
stimulate.
skin is sensitive, you're better off with a cleansing exfoliator rather than a grainy one.
Yeah,
And
and
you
something
take
with
it
fruit
with-
acids
okay.
is better. It's not as stimulating, and good for anyone that has high colouring or broken veins. It's not going to stimulate those as much.
Okay,
So
and
it's
you'd always
gentler.
have your face a bit moist as well, I guess.
Yeah, I usually use damp fingertips to
Okay.
massage it in, and it works much better.
Okay, number 7.
Thou shalt love thy skin in the AM and PM.
Okay, very important, taking care of your skin.
Well, first of all, you must identify your skin type and then form a regime for that. So we're going to use a morning program. Perhaps we have the Lancome Genifique serum and day cream. So you should put on your day cream in the morning, followed by your night cream at night time.
So would you put the serum on first, let it sink in, and then put the day cream on?
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll show you the serum. This serum, you just use about 3 or 4 pumps, and you'd warm it gently in the fingertips
Okay.
and then massage it into the skin.
And does a serum go deeper into your skin than a moisturiser?
Well, it's a lighter weight product,
Of course.
and it will sink in more easily. So
So you just rub it in gently. Okay, our next commandment, please.
Thou shalt not spray scent willy-nilly.
Really? I spray scent willy-nilly all the time. I love perfume.
Well, perfume can actually make you more sun sensitive. So therefore, if you spray your perfume on the sides of your neck, you can be more sun sensitive and therefore develop sun damage. So you can
And you can actually get this redness.
poikiloderma.
What is that called?
Poikiloderma. and that's where you can develop just brown pigmentation from sun exposure and some broken veins as well. So really you should put your perfume on maybe your clothes or your hair.
Okay, that's it. This is my latest. I will never spray perfume again. And our last commandment on my hair, it lasts longer. The next commandment, please.
Thou shalt relieve thyself of stress.
Okay, I guess you mean lots of massages and stuff.
Well, stress releases stress hormones, and that can lead to acne and breakouts and hives, psoriasis. So really, if you can de-stress, go for a walk and massage, as you say, it'll help with the stress.
Yeah, of course, it's very important for your skin.
Yeah.
Last commandment in the beauty regime.
Thou shalt have a healthy diet and lifestyle.
Yes, I guess drink loads of water, Sharon, is it?
Well, obviously water will hydrate the skin, and obviously eating a healthy regime. I mean, if you eat foods rich with vitamin A helps to renew the skin, vitamin E helps to retain the moisture balance, and vitamin C then helps to protect the skin because it's an antioxidant. But lastly, if you do actually observe all our commandments, you won't covet your neighbour's skin.
That's right.
You'll have good skin of your own.
Excellent. Thank you, Sharon. Of course, for all of Sharon's tips and the products that we've mentioned, because we mentioned quite a few products today, all you have to do is take a look at our website. It's on the screen there, or our Airtel page 340.
It's 6 major banks.
It dates back to the first dynasty of Egypt. It can change the way we look and even feel. Many of us refuse to go out without it, and it's part of an industry that, even in a recession, it's growing. What is it? Of course, it's makeup. But how do you know? But did you know, I should say, that ignoring the small print, the tiny little print on the back of cosmetics could actually make you ill? Beauty expert Sharon Gilmartin is here to tell us all about that. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Maura. How are you?
Good, good. Sharon, it is quite scary that if we ignore the little small print and on the back of these cosmetics, that they can actually cause horrible infections, eye infections and all that type of thing. First of all, how do we know how long a product lasts?
Well, the EU have brought in a directive where there's a symbol of a jar on the back of all cosmetics, makeup and skincare. And it just looks like this. And it starts with a number followed by the letter M.
Oh, yes.
And in this case here, this expires after opening after 12 months. So this symbol should be on any product you buy in the EU.
We have it on the screen there now, just kind of brought up there a little bit. So it's a little jar that's kind of open. So it means that from the day you open this, it'll last X amount of time.
It's a general guideline because you know, in some cases, some people will actually mind the product, store them correctly and use them with clean applicator sponges. But in other cases, other clients might actually use it with store it on a bathroom windowsill with the sun beating in, moist surroundings, and the jar may be left open. So they're not going to last as long.
Depends.
So certainly your common sense would prevail when a product goes out of date.
Okay, we're going to start first with the base, with foundations. How long do they normally last now?
Well,
I'm wondering.
Most foundations will last about 3 to 18 months.
Okay.
So you'll find that the oil-free foundations like this one here, they're not going to last as long because they're going to dry out much faster than the cream versions and, let's say, the compacts. They're going to last a little bit longer.
Okay, and what about, say, something like this here left open? How long would that last if we left it like that?
Well, this is actually a jar, so it's going to be more open to contaminants like airborne bacteria. So that's not going to last as long as, let's say, this one here, which has a pump. That one has a pump action. So the best foundations to buy are the pump type, or else, let's say, a tube. So there's less bacteria getting in. So
you have to squish this to get it out, so it has to actually come through the filter to get it out.
And like, if you're actually using this applicator tip to apply your foundation, the applicator tip might be coming in contact with maybe acne spots. And if you put a dirty applicator tip back into the foundation, you're contaminating the remaining foundation. So you really should give it a wipe after using it.
It's common sense, really, I suppose.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know,
and powders probably last longer, do they, powder foundations?
Powder foundations, pressed eyeshadows, all of those are going to last about 2 years. And they're just literally compressed pigment, so they will last longer. However, how you store them is very important. You should always keep the lid closed. And the likes of these sponges, I mean, I don't know who owns this.
I know who owns it. Ha-ha, name and shame, name and shame. No, I won't, I better not.
The sponges should really be washed every week. And
every week?
Yeah, and let air dry. If you put a damp sponge into your powder, it's going to encourage mould to grow, because in the moisture, the bacteria is encouraged to grow. So you should let it air dry before you put it back into the container.
How do you wash those, Sharon?
You know, maybe baby shampoo. Give them a rinse, or soapy water is fine.
That's all. You don't need to get all kind of perfect about
Absolutely.
it. Just a little rinse.
And you know when your powders are gone off, because they'll go shiny on the top, and they won't use them. They won't. You won't be able to use them as easily. They don't work.
We should say as well. You were telling me earlier on that the foundations, it starts separating.
That's right.
When it goes off.
The consistency will change. You'll find it'll thin out and get runny, or else go lumpy, and then obviously you'll get a bad odour too. So you know, common sense will tell you when it's actually time to ditch it.
Now, mascaras. I'm sure we all commit massive sin when it comes to mascaras. How long do they last?
Well, typically they should last about 3 to 6 months.
That's all?
That's all. I mean, the shelf life of mascara is much less than any other makeup item in your makeup bag, and simply because there's moisture inside, and most people will tend to pump the mascara wand, allowing more air to get in there and encourage bacteria to breathe.
Yeah, we have some really kind of wrecked looking mascaras here now that are totally, this is something that's totally dried out, that should have been dumped a long time ago. And that's how you'd know, and the smell's kind of weird too. Yeah. That smells a bit funny.
Ideally, you should twist your mascara wand rather than pumping it.
All right, okay, so when you're taking it out, twist it.
Yeah, and then it'll last much longer. And you know, when they tend to dry out, don't be encouraged to add some warm water or anything to make it last longer.
Disaster.
Because that's encouraging more bacteria to breed, and it can cause, you know, the likes of conjunctivitis, eye infections, styes. So that's very important, not to share your mascara or share any eye makeup products.
And conjunctivitis is such a horrible infection, isn't it?
Red, you know, terrible, you know, so
there's no need for that.
You need to ditch any exposure expired makeup. It's just too dangerous.
Okay, let's take a look at lipsticks and glosses.
Lipstick will last longer than gloss because glosses are more liquidy, and by the way the fat and the pigment is formulated in lipstick, that they will last quite a while, from 18 months right up to 2 years. So your lip glosses will last about the 18 months, while your lipstick will last about the 2 years.
Sharon, you know when you sometimes see on a lipstick there's a bit of moisture on it, is that something bad or is it okay?
It looks like little moisture bubbles on the top, but they're not. That's not expired. You can just give that a wipe with some tissue and that will be fine, you know, and you can still use it.
Okay.
But they'll tend to dry out. Lipsticks will dry out and won't go on as creamy or as slick as they should normally. So you'll know when it's time to ditch it. It'll leave your lipstick.
Share them obviously as well in case you get a cold sore.
That's right. So you'll know when it's time to ditch them as well, you know, because they'll just dry out and cause your lips to become chapped and dry and cause some blisters too, you know.
Okay, let's move on to liners, lip liners and eyeliners.
Well, they're the workhorses of your makeup bag. They're going to last a lot longer because you're going to sharpen them hopefully every week, and that'll prevent the bacteria to grow. So you'll tend to get about 2 years out of those.
That's pretty good.
But when they start crumbling and become flaky, and when you keep sharpening them and they keep disappearing and disappearing, that's when they're gone off. They're dried out and they're not going to work anymore. So it's time to ditch those.
Okay, and if you had an infection, a cold sore or something like that, can you just sharpen them and move on to the next
I think
bit?
you can.
That should be okay.
Yeah, I think common sense, you're getting onto a fresh part of it. So I think, yeah, you could definitely do that, you know.
Okay, now the tools of the trade. Makeup brush is very, very important, but again, harbouring massive germs if you don't wash them.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to come in contact with your natural oils on your face as well as your makeup. So it's time to, every week, give them a rinse. You can use, again, soapy water or some baby shampoo, or indeed these cosmetic brush cleaners. And you can get those in good makeup shops, you know, and they'll clean them and they're quite easy and fast to use. You just pour some out onto some tissue and rub your brush over, so it's very easy to use.
Should you let those dry as well, naturally, air dry?
Yeah, leave them flat to dry by air, and then they're fine to go again.
Yeah, and they last years, really, if you get to buy good brushes, won't they?
Yeah, I mean, good natural bristle brushes will last quite a while, you know.
Okay. And you have a little tip for us before you go. I think this is a great idea. Because say, for example, you open your mascara, your foundation, whatever.
Yeah, most people can never remember when they bought their foundation. So we have a little sticker on. See the pump on there? And you can actually put the date. We put the today's date. So from once you open it, the open jar symbol indicates when it's safe to use after you open it. So that will give you a good idea when it's time to throw them out. So those little stickers are handy for your makeup. Nobody ever remembers.
Organised. I never remember when I open anything how old it is, and I have no idea. Disaster. Sharon, thanks very much. But again, it is very important, and you can end up with nasty, horrible, yucky infections like we showed earlier on. Okay, for all of Sharon's tips, all you have to do is to pop onto our website, our Airtel page as well, 340. It's all there. Next week, we're going to be looking there. Last week, our beauty expert Sharon Gilmartin showed us how out-of-date makeup can be toxic, but also really, really dangerous for our health. Well, she's back to show us how to restock our makeup bag for under €50, which is a great feat. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Maura. How are you?
Good, thanks. Now, Sharon, a lot of people might think, oh, €50 for makeup, but the reality is it's difficult to stock a makeup bag for €50.
That's right. Well, most makeup bag can be well over €100, you know, even 150. But we have actually the capsule makeup bag here for just under €50. It's unbelievable.
Now, we actually did our own little survey in our office today. We asked all the girls in the office to add up all the makeup in their makeup bag and get a cost. And the average was €140. There they are now, everybody in the office. And, you know, you wouldn't think it when you look in a makeup bag that all this stuff costs so much, but it does.
Yeah, and that's even without the brushes.
That's even without the brushes, my goodness. Yeah. Okay, so we have our model Colette here. You've made up half of Colette's face, and we're going to make up the other half. So we're going to first look at foundation, and you've managed to find a really good foundation for a good price.
Yeah, I like this Rimmel one because it has a pump, which is great for preventing contamination. It has a factor 15 and it has a nice coverage. There's actually some technology in it which actually works with your skin tone to blend in much better. So we have a nice colour here that matches Colette's face, and it warms up as you apply it.
1170 is pretty good for a foundation.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Okay. And you like to apply with a brush, Sharon, do you?
Well, it's just I can get even coverage. You know, I prefer it. You can rinse them out rather than sponges.
And you don't waste product.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. That's my tip anyways, is the brush for even application.
Okay, so where are we going to go next? We're going to take a look at bronzer.
The bronzer can be used, this particular shade in the number 7, it's
Boot 17.
Boot 17. This can be used as your powder to, you know, if you want a very reasonable makeup bag, it can be used for contouring the face, as well as setting your foundation, as well as, you know, warming up the chest area and the neckline, you know. So
And I'm just looking at that shirt. There's not too much of a glow or shimmer in it, which is good
Yeah.
actually. A matte bronzer is a good investment, isn't it?
exactly. And I often use it for contouring the face. If you find that you have a little bit of weight on your face, I would tend to contour underneath the cheek area here. If you just add a little bit of extra bronzer just there, it'll give you more of a defined cheek.
Oh, very good. So good shadow. Okay, very good. And that's very cheap. $5.89.
Excellent.
Yeah,
excellent.
very good.
And nice quality too.
Now you've managed to find some eyeshadows for what, $3.49 each. That's pretty good.
This seems to be a new range that's out recent times, the NYC, and I actually think that pigment quality is excellent for the price.
So we're talking about pigment, we're talking about colour quality.
The quality of the colour. You know, when you get a cheap eyeshadow, sometimes it's very hard to get it on your actual eye. But you'll see here on Colette, if you close over at Colette, it's very easy. You don't need a lot of product and you get really nice coverage. And with this base here, this can be used as a base for your eyeshadow as well as actually a highlighter. So this white, a lot of people don't know where you actually put it, but you can cover the entire lid and work it right into the brow bone there for your highlighter.
Oh, very good.
And what it does is it actually allows the true colour of your eyeshadow to come right through the makeup, you know.
And you know, you see the look that's in at the moment, that very 50s look, the very bare lid is really in, isn't it? Or kind of a shimmery lid.
Yeah, that's right, and a light shade. And light colours do open up the eye. And all you need to do then is apply the deeper shade right into the socket line.
Just to give a bit of depth and definition.
But the clever thing is not to go for something too deep. If you go for a medium tone colour, just like this brown here, you can go right up into the socket line and you're not going to make too many mistakes. You know, for somebody that might be a novice doing their eyes, don't go too deep. If you go for a very dark chocolatey brown, it's very difficult to blend into the socket line unless you
so stick to a kind of a taupey colour.
Yeah, medium toned, not too pale, because otherwise you're not going to get definition into the socket line. And that just opens up the eye.
Okay, again, $3.49 for those eyeshadows. Okay, now you're in love with this mascara. This is a dual purpose mascara. It's got two kind of ends to it, isn't it?
It's my favourite out of the whole capsule makeup bag. You actually have a clear thickener for the lashes. You can apply it onto the lashes, bare lashes, and it'll thicken them up. Look right up there, Colette. Or you can put it on at the end of the day if you're about to go out. You can reapply it again and it'll separate the lashes, thicken them all up, and you know, you can then reapply your mascara another layer again. I've also on Colette, I like it up here in the brows, just to set the brows.
That's a great idea. Keep them in place.
A bit of, you know, if you use a brow powder, it dulls down the brows and you need to give it a little bit of a gloss. Okay. It holds them in place there. So
you put that on the conditioner first and then you put the mascara over it.
Yeah, it's a thickener more so than a conditioner, but it does help to lengthen the lashes too.
And that is by Gosh, and that is $12.99. So that again is a good price, because average mascaras can be about €20.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. But I do look right up there. I do really like that.
Very good.
Quality is very good.
Okay, eyeliner next.
Again, this is a staple in your makeup bag, is the black kohl eyeliner, and we have one here from Maybelline, and nice soft. Close over the eyes. Close over the eye there. And it just defines and opens up the eye. And, you know, no matter what colour your eyes are, this will match in.
She's running it along the lash line at top.
And wing it up a little bit, it just opens it. Especially for a young look, if you wing it up slightly, it just gives a more opened eye appearance.
Okay, very good. So a bit of a catty eye there towards the end.
And just, again, a little bit halfway in on the eye, just doesn't close them over. And I've just used this from the eyeshadow. Look right up again, just to blend it in a wee bit so it's not so harsh, because sometimes black can look harsh.
Especially for day wear, Sharon. It's very important to blend it, isn't it?
Well, again, for nighttime, you don't have to wing it up so much. At nighttime, you can add extra, you know, and you could bring the eyeliner right into the inner eye. But for daytime, certainly halfway and just blend it a wee bit. And these are just the little tips that came with the eyeshadow.
Very good. Okay, now lipstick, and you're using our lipstick today as a dual product, which we love.
Yeah, again, just to keep our costs down, and in mind, we just dab a little bit onto the cheeks. A lot of teenagers do use this as a blusher, and it's just handy if you're going out and about. It's so easy to fit all these into your little
It gives a very
handbag.
kind of natural flush look.
Yeah, exactly. It's more like a cheek tint rather than an actual blush, and you just blend it in with the warmth of your fingertips. It just tends to blend in quite nicely.
And that's for Remelin at $6.55, so that's very good as well.
Yeah, and we can use it then on the lips as well. And it's nice and glossy, so it's good even if your lips are dry, it's quite glossy. For someone that wants a very day look, they can just dab a little bit in and rub it in with their fingers.
Give that stain
or
effect.
A stain, exactly. But if you want an evening look, you can actually add a little bit more for coverage.
Okay, while you're finishing Colette's lipsticks, I want to take a look at the total cost. Let's recap on our makeup bag so far. We have the foundation at $11.70. We've got the bronzer $5.89, the eyeshadow $3.49. Gosh, the mascara there $12.99, and eyeliner $4.49. Rimmel lipstick $6.55, and the total cost is $48.60. Yay! Under €50.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier on, when we checked with the girls in the office, everyone basically took a look through their makeup bag and it came in at around 100 and something. That's a lovely look there.
Fantastic. And a whole makeup complete look, you know.
Great. Okay, look straight out there, so everyone can look at you there, Colette. Very, very nice. Okay, thanks very much, Sharon and Colette, for coming in. And of course, all the information is on our website, rte.ie/4